there was some news coming from Ian Begley. If you guys know who that is, he's a New York Knicks insider, and he had a tweet that the Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, Miami Heat were among the teams that talked to the Knicks for trading Julius Randle. So, Mikey, my question to you is, were you kind of surprised that the Pistons' name was in the Julius Randle sweepstakes?
I was surprised because I hadn't heard it yet. It wasn't something that had been talked about. But the more I thought about it, it really does make sense for us, a team that has been desperate for wing help. We got that somewhat in Tobias Harris. And I really think that it would be a solid fit. Julius Randle can create for himself. He can shoot somewhat well. He's very streaky. But I honestly would have thought that Julius Randle would be a pretty solid fit on the Pistons, similar to like the Jeremy Grant move, just a floor raiser, someone who's not going to let us win 14 games again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that for like when we won 17 games, I was like, there's no way we're gonna like win less than 17 games. Like, boy, was I wrong. But yeah, I was kind of surprised though by this, and I think that the way I'm looking at it is Trajan has only drafted Ron Holland and Bobby Clipman. I guess they Bobby, not Bobby.
It's Bobby?
Yeah, it's Bobby Clipman.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah. So lost my train of thought for a little bit. It's all good. Trajan hasn't drafted, like guys like Cade, Ivy, Duran, Stu. The fact that Detroit called about Julius Randle, I think you can read the tea leaves a little bit. Trajan wants to upgrade the front court. Now, does that mean Isaiah Stewart is on his way out? I'm not sure. But if you kind of look at a Julius Randle and you kind of look at an Isaiah Stewart, obviously they're not the same type of players. But again, you can kind of get an indication of what type of players Trajan Langdon is looking for. I think Julius Randle would be a good fit on this team. I mean, you could slide Tobias over at the 3 and Randle at the 4 if you really wanted to. I think it's interesting, though, that, the Pistons tried to put their hat in the Julius Randle sweepstakes. Obviously, we do not know what the Pistons offered. You guys can make assumptions in the chat if you are watching live on YouTube. I really don't know what the Pistons offered. I don't really think anyone knows what they offered. Maybe James Edwards knows what they offered. Have to ask James.
Not even anymore. Yeah. Oh, well, he's with the Knicks, so he would still know.
Yeah, maybe he would know, but I found it pretty interesting that they even attempted to, put their hat in that sweepstakes, but pretty interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Trajan sees the writing on the wall. We've had these players with us for the 2020 draft, so this will be the 4th season with them, and we've been getting worse every single year. So eventually you're going to have to bite the bullet and take the risk of one of these players blooming in another city and trade them away to take on someone that will help you now, because we can't keep getting worse and worse and worse, because at a point that does stunt the development of the people that you care about.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's going to happen eventually. You have all these guys that you've drafted in the lottery. One of these guys is going to be a casualty, I think, this season, whether that's Asar, whether that's Ivy, whether that's Duran. I think if, to your point, they haven't really made progressions in the win column yet. If it's to a point where they have a similar season like last season, I 100% agree with you. Like, one of these guys is going to be traded. Trajan is going to have to bite the bullet and get players in here that can win more basketball games. But I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We haven't even had training camp. We haven't even had open practice yet. Yeah. But pretty interesting that Trajan is looking at a Julius Randle, seeing what, the Pistons could possibly get for him. Now,